If you're over 40, there is a good chance your body is starving for nutrient right now and you don't even know it. That brain fog at 2 p.m., that is not stress. A 2023 study found that being low in just one of the nutrients I'm about to show you can shrink your brain by the equivalent of 5 years of aging. The joint stiffness that wasn't there 3 years ago, that is simply your collagen matrix breaking down and it start accelerating at age 40. The fatigue, the slow recovery, the belly fat that won't move no matter what you eat. These aren't just getting old, they are deficiency signals. And the five nutrients behind them are the ones almost nobody is testing for. I'm Dr. Ngunzi. I'm a medical doctor. I have reviewed a clinical data of all five and I've put them into one protocol, the Longevity 5 protocol, with the exact form, dosage, and food sources you need. And nutrient number 4 is the brain one, and that is where most men over 40 are dangerously low. But let's start with 1 because it controls over 300 processes in your body, and there is a good chance you are deficient right now. Number 1, and this is the one I see missed the most, magnesium. I call it the silent regulator because it controls over 300 enzymatic reaction in your body. DNA repair, protein synthesis, blood pressure regulation, and insulin sensitivity. Magnesium is involved in all of it. But here is the problem. After 40, your gut absorbs magnesium less efficiently. Your kidney secrete more of it, and if you are on common medications like PPI for acid reflux or diuretic for blood pressure, those are actively depleting your magnesium stores. The research is detailed here. A 2024 study in the European Journal of Nutrition found that adults with the lowest magnesium levels had biological marker indicating they were 7 to 10 years older than their actual age, and that's not a small number. Now think about traditional diets in place with high longevity, like in Japan and parts of China. They are naturally rich in magnesium. Things like tofu, edamame, leafy green like bok choy, pumpkin seed, and almonds are staples. It's not an accident that their diets provide this fundamental cellular support. They've been eating this way for centuries, while the Western diet is often magnesium poor. Here is how you can fix it. You want 400 to 420 milligram daily for men and 310 to 320 for women. Best food sources are dark leafy greens, pumpkin seed, and almonds. But if your levels are already low, and statistically they probably are, magnesium glycinate is the form I would recommend because it has superior absorption and it won't wreck your gut the way magnesium oxide does. Number 2, omega-3 fatty acid, especially EPA and DHA. I call this inflammation breaks, and here is why. Chronic low-grade inflammation, what researchers call inflammaging, is now considered one of the primary drives of accelerated aging. It damages your blood vessels, it degrades your joints, and it literally shrinks your brain. A landmark study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that people with the highest omega-3 levels had telomeres that were the equivalent of 5 years younger. And telomeres are the protective cap on your chromosomes. When they shorten, your cells age. Omega-3s slow that process. But here is what nobody tells you. The standard Western diet gives you omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of about 15 to 1, while it should actually be closer to 3 to 1. That imbalance is stacking a fire inside your body every single day. And there is another area where traditional Japanese diets shine, the high consumption of fresh fish, seaweed, and lower reliance on industrial seed oils, which naturally creates a much healthier omega-3 to omega-6 balance. It's one of the key reasons population in Okinawa, Japan have some of the lowest rates of inflammatory disease in the world. And here is the fix. Aim for at least 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily. Eat wild-caught fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, sardine 2 to 3 times per week. If you don't eat fish, a high-quality fish oil or algae-based omega-3 supplement is also welcome. Check the labels because most cheap oil capsules only have 300 milligrams of actual EPA or DHA per serving. You need 6 to 7 capsules because you should get the concentrated form. All right, those first two are the foundation, but nutrient number three is the one that has been getting a lot of attention in the longevity research world. And most people over 40 aren't even aware that they need it. Number three, vitamin D3. And this is the hormonal anchor. And I say hormonal deliberately because vitamin D isn't really a vitamin at all. It's a pro-hormone and it regulates the expressions of over 1,000 genes in your body. Now, you've probably heard get more vitamin D, right? But here is the part that matters for aging. Vitamin D directly moderates your immune system ability to distinguish between threats and your own tissues. When vitamin D levels drop, and they drop significantly after 40, especially if you live above the 37 parallels, your immune system start attacking your own cells, and that is autoimmune aging. There is a massive meta-analysis of over 30,000 participants that found that those with vitamin D levels below 20 nanogram per milliliter had a 43 higher risk of all-cause mortality, not just heart disease, not cancer, all-cause of death. To fix this, here is what you can do. Get your blood level tested. You want it between 40 to 60 nanogram per milliliter. Most people need 2,000 to 5,000 IU of D3 daily to maintain that range, especially in winter. And always take it with a fat source because it's fat soluble. And you shouldn't forget to pair it with K2, and which brings me to something important. But before that, if this is making you rethink your supplement stack, hit that subscribe button. I break down the science behind what actually works for your health, not just what is trending on social media. And every week, I will share protocols like these ones that are grounded in clinical research. Now, here is the one I told you about at the beginning, vitamin K2. And I call it the calcium director for a reason that will make you uncomfortable. Because without K2, calcium doesn't know where to go. Instead of going into your bones where you need it, it deposits in your arteries, your kidneys, and even your brain. And that leads to arterial calcification, kidney stones, and here is the scary part, accelerated brain atrophy. A 2023 study in Alzheimer and dementia found that participants with the lowest K2 intake showed brain volume loss equivalent to 5 additional years of aging, compared to those with adequate K2 level, 5 years from one nutrient. And here is the kicker. K2 is almost impossible to get from modern Western diet. It's found in natto, which is Japanese fermented soybean that most Westerners won't touch, hot-aged cheeses and organ meat, and that's it. And this is a perfect example of how cultural foods encode wisdom we are only now understanding with modern science. The Japanese love for natto, especially in the eastern regions, is directly linked with your high K2 intake and lower rates of osteoporosis and vascular calcification. In some part of China, fermented vegetables and organ meats will have historically provided similar K2, though natto is by far the most potent source. And here is what to do to fix this. Supplement with MK7 form, 100 to 200 micrograms daily. Always pair it with D3 because they work synergistically. D3 helps you absorb calcium while K2 tells it where to go. One without the other is like giving your body a delivery truck with no GPS. So to recap this, magnesium protects your DNA, omega-3 are putting out the inflammatory fire, while D3 is anchoring your hormones, while K2 is directing traffic for calcium. But there is one more, and this one ties everything together. Number 5, collagen, the structural foundation. And I don't just mean take collagen powder. Let me explain. Collagen makes up to 30% of all the protein in your body. It's your skin, your joint, your gut lining, and your blood vessels. After 25, your body produces roughly 1% less collagen per year. By the time you are 40 or 50, you've lost a quarter of your collagen producing capacity. That is not just wrinkles, that is joint stiffness, leaky gut, weakened blood vessel walls, and lower wound healing. It is structural aging. Now, the research on collagen supplementation has gotten much stronger. A 2023 meta-analysis across 26 randomized controlled trial found that hydrolyzed collagen peptides significantly improve skin elasticity, joint pain, and bone mineral density in adults over 40. Again, look at the traditional Asian diets. They don't necessarily take collagen powder, but they consume what I call collagen rich broth. Think of a Chinese bone broth soup or the base of Japanese ramen broth. They are rich in gelatin and other collagen precursors. They also pair it with vegetables, providing the vitamin C needs to utilize that collagen. It's a perfect example of food synergies we've forgotten in the Western world. Here is what you should do to fix this. Take 10 to 15 grams of hydrolyzed collagen peptide daily combined with vitamin C because your body needs C to actually synthesize new collagen. Without it, it will pass through your urine. Bone broth is a whole food option, but the peptide content is inconsistent. If you are serious about this, a quality hydrolyzed supplement plus 500 milligrams of vitamin C is the structural protocol. So there it is, the 5 longevity protocol: magnesium, omega-3s, vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and collagen. 5 nutrients, all backed by serious research. All are commonly deficient in adults over 40. When you look at cultures that have historically eaten this way, like Japan and part of China, you see the real world result of getting these fundamentals right. They are not doing anything magical, they are just by tradition eating a diet rich in these 5 nutrients. Here is what I want you to do. Pick one from this list, whichever you think you are most deficient in, and start from there. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. One nutrient, the right form, the right dose. That's how you start reversing the clock. If you want me to go deeper on any of these doses, brands, blood tests to ask for, let me know in the comments. And if this was helpful, like this video because it helps me reach more people who need this information. I'm Dr. Ngundi. Take care of your body. It's the only one you've got. I'll see you in the next video.